Welcome back to this video. Now I'll show you how you can apply for loop to see the element inside the array. So let me remove this one because this is not required at this point of time, or let me just make it as a comment. Okay, and this is required because we have to at least initialize. Okay, now if you already know that in case of for loop we have first initialization should be there, then after that we can specify that how many time we want to iterate over the loop, and this one is the increment part by which we can say that what will be the step over to the end point, right? And now here you can see that there is a function called dim of, and this particular function will retrieve the number of index elements that space has been allocated for. Okay, so you have to remember that this point, that dim of retrieves the number of index elements that space has been allocated for in an x++ array. And here we are specifying here the I, that means it will specify the index from the 1, and after that it will specify the index position over here. So that means for each and every loop it will give the index number, and after that it will give its related value, whatever the value is present on that index. Okay, now let me save the code and let me click on the start button to see the result. So here you can see our result. So in case of dim of function, this will generate total 16 item, but if we'll go a little bit above, you can see that we'll get the element up to 4, because in the first index we have the element and also in the fourth index, and all of the other indexes you can see that we are getting the 0, because this loop is actually hovering, iterating 16 times, because the dimension of the space created for the this particular array is actually 16. So that's why we are getting till 16. And if you want to specify only 4 times, then here you can specify the 4 directly. Okay, now if you save it, it will give you the only 4 times. So instead of writing 4 over here directly, in case of dynamic array, you can do one more thing. In case of dynamic array, this is the dynamic integer array, and in case of this kind of array, this dimension of function will not work properly. So instead of this, you can use as a fixed size array. So for example, if here I am initializing only 4 elements, so that's why if you want to convert it into the fixed size, then specify here over 4. Then the dimension of function will return the exact value, that is 4. And let me give a breakpoint over here, and I want to see the dimension of for this particular array. And if you want to know more about dimension of, in this video at the end we'll discuss about it, okay, in the details. Now just save it and just click over here. Now if you will step over, you can see that if you hover over the mouse, you can see that size is 4, and if you go to the raw view, and you can see here the dim of that is actually 4. Okay, and if you'll try to click on the continue, then you will be able to see the exact result, that is it will the iteration will happen 4 times. You can see the result, it is showing exactly 4 times because the dim of is now 4. That's why we are getting this result. So I hope now it's clear that how we can use the dim of in case of array. And remember that this type of coding is actually, we are using the primitive data type. We are using int, that means it's actually primitive data type we are using. Other than this kind of primitive data type, we have an array class. We'll discuss about the array class in our subsequent in later videos. Okay, now if you want to know more about the demorph, let me discuss it now. So here in this document you can see that demorph, it retrieves the number of index, okay, that space has been allocated. Remember that if the space has been allocated, then the demorph function will give you the number of index and it will return the integer. It means it will return the value in the format of integer, and which is actually primitive data type, and it can take any type of object. So any type object means it will take the array to determine the dimension size of, okay, and it returns the value. Object parameter is an array and the number of elements in an array, and if it will not be able to find out, it will give you the 0 as a result. Okay, and remember few points over here, that demorph function intended for x++ arrays that are declared as a following x++ types. So if the data type of the array will be like these primitive data types, then demorph function will work, otherwise it will not work. So in case of this kind of data type, primitive data type, the demorph function will not work. So this line you can read that it is saying the demorph function does not accept array of all x++ primitive data type. So if for this kind of primitive data type, demorph function work, and for this one the demorph function will not work. And if you want to see the code for which type of array it will accept and for what type of array it will reject or it will not support, you can read this particular code slowly, then you will get the much knowledge regarding the demorph function. So I hope now it's clear that what is demorph function and how it actually works. And this one is the runtime function. At the time of execution, this function will work. So I hope now it's clear that how you can utilize demorph function in case of array, and I have shown the implementation as well. So thanks for watching this video. See you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye.